don't chase women. They're like, oh, you're one of those guys I want to chase. I'm like, no. If you like me and I like you, you don't have to chase me. Oh, like, if I block you, why don't you send me an email? You hear things like that.
Never sent
No.
email after being blocked?
No.
Why not?
No one who has blocked me has very bad for me. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Finding Doing. If you're with me today, I really appreciate you. As you can see, I'm not alone today. I'm here with an amazing guest who will be introducing herself in a minute. Thank you very much for all of the subscriptions. Thank you so much for all of the likes, the shares, the comments. Some people reach out to me privately. Some of you don't have mind to comment what you want to comment in the comment section. But please, I encourage everyone, turn on your post notification bell so that you can be first to know when I post. I don't want to be terrorizing you guys, in the chats and stuff. But I'll let my guest introduce herself and hand it over to my guest.
So, number one, before I introduce myself, I want to say you should subscribe to this channel, Finding Doing. It's an amazing channel. Okay, so my name is Oten Star. I'm a project manager / musician / child of God.
Let's go.
/ career coach.
Okay, come on.
/
jogger, runner.
Runner, yes.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
But yeah, so thank you so much for having me. We're gonna have a good time.
Alright, thank you for sure, of course. So you guys heard that she's a life coach. You guys reach out to her if you have any problem. Don't come to me, go to a 10 star. I can't help you. The best I can do for you guys is to give you this content and this tea. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic, right? The overarching idea of the topic is reciprocity and initiation. So initiation and reciprocity in modern dating. But the topic I have in mind is loved at home. So I'm loved at home. So usually people will be like, oh, like why don't you do this? I'm like, bro, I'm loved at home. It's good that not loved at home that means that go about looking for love where it's not lost, So I'm loved at home, so I try to behave myself even like in modern dating. But before we go any further, we're going to go into the hot takes. So I have a hot take and then we're going to have a discussion and then we're going to go from there. Is that good? Alright. So my hot take is this. More women should shoot their shots in dating. What do you think? So,
what do you count as shooting your shot? Is it just staring at someone and then looking away?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Or is it someone saying, hi, excuse me, can I get your number? What's your name? What's your Instagram? Or is it just, liking an Instagram story or liking a post 6 times in a row? What is shooting your shot?
Alright, that's very good. And I want to clarify.
And what is shooting a shot for a man and for a woman? Because I as a woman would say shooting my shot is looking at you and then going like this.
Oh! That makes sense. So I would say this, I'll prefix with this. Women have a different way they shoot their shots to men. Women move to you with some sort of plausible deniability where they're not saying, hey, I like you, what's your number? But they're also like, just positioning themselves. I feel like women they posture so that you can know, hey, I'm available, like, if you want to talk. And they give you the light of day, they give you the attention, right? They reply to you. If you follow them, they follow you back. But sometimes, that's the thing, it's very, very tricky because sometimes you follow someone, they follow you back and you think, oh, you have the green light and you go and they're like, bro, like, who told you?
This is a friendship follow.
Exactly.
Give me just one confirmation again.
Exactly, it was a friendship follow. So when I say women should shoot their shot, I mean like men would, hey, like, I think you're very handsome, like to get to know you more and like, what's your number, blah, blah, blah. And then just follow up from there. That's what I'll consider shooting your shot. So I think women should do more of that. And the reason is not just big, it's not for because a lot of people will look at this and be like, oh, these men in this generation want to be chased so bad. These men in this generation want to be sassy. That's not the idea. The whole idea is that I believe, it's a theory, right? That if you shoot your shot more often, the chances are you end up with someone you actually like. Rather than waiting for someone you like and the person doesn't come through and then you settle for someone that was not really your first choice. And this is where my theory comes in, most men don't initiate divorce. The reason why women are overwhelmingly initiating the divorces is because that was not their first choice. It's a theory. I don't have like any proofs, But I really believe that if you looked at someone and you picked the person, you want to work it out. But if you settled for someone, you feel like you're not even my first choice. And so you're easy to, no, I won't say like, a lot of people have gone through divorces and people have gone through terrible things to like leave their marriages. So I don't want to downplay that. But I'm saying that if you pick someone that you feel like was the best person, you want to do everything you can to make it work. So that's my hot take.
Okay, so that was a lot that I need to remember to unpack. The first thing is, I think that who initiates the divorce is not necessarily who wants it the most. And what I mean by that is I have personally been in a relationship in which the other person just shut down. So I had to be the bad guy and be like, we need to break up. But it was because the other person had shut down. So then I was like, okay, let me do the action of breaking up because you're just sort of like sitting there like a stone. So I would say that like maybe equal amounts of men and women would want to initiate a divorce. But if one party doesn't want to be the bad guy, but then they start checking out, then maybe the other party is like, okay, I have to do this because someone's checking out. That being said,
that makes sense.
Obviously, if women are initiating, maybe they're just like fed up. But I think it's like a two-pronged thing. I think either a woman could be like, I'm completely done, I'm initiating this divorce. Or a woman could say, you know what, he divorced me by not coming home for 2 months or by doing this, so I'll just file the paperwork. But, so that was my take on the divorce.
That makes sense. I like that.
Okay, but we can take it a step back. So, for shooting shots as a woman, I think that, like we talked about earlier, I don't think women deal with rejection well. And I think that women take everything very personally, highly emotional.
Catch your shot.
I'm just saying, and why I'm saying that is because, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you said, men are brought up to sort of like try and believe, and if a girl doesn't like them, even if they say it in a rude way, it's just more like, well, just take it to the chin. It is what it is.
Yeah. Charges to the game.
Charges to the game, exactly. So I think that women are very emotional, and it's difficult for us to shoot our shot. That being said, I've seen this article about this guy who was like, he did this experiment where he would ask people things, and it was to get him desensitized to rejection. Yeah. So people would say yes or no, but he
rejection therapy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that shooting your shot shouldn't be a big deal because I think it builds character. I don't know if it's something that will always work out, but I think it's sort of like just something to challenge yourself to realize like it builds empathy because you see what men are going through when they're shooting their shot towards you. B, sometimes you want to feel like you're not too scared to talk to someone new. And C, sometimes, I don't know, it's like going to a new country or a new city, having an alternate identity and just like playing out a character. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but it builds a little bit of, what's that word called? It builds a little bit of resilience, I would say. Now, if it works, I have shot my shot by standing next to someone.
Okay, start.
I shot my shot by standing next to someone at a party.
Standing next to the person at the party. That's how you shot your shot.
Yes. I didn't say anything. I just stood next to the person, and then he spoke to me.
And he recognized it.
Yeah, then he spoke to me. Yeah, but I didn't say anything because I was scared. But I just stood next to the person. I was just like,
women, 20 cents for change your ways.
No, but I do think though that standing next to someone and then being open and not having an RBF, which is a resting face. But if you stand next to someone and you look smiley, then maybe they'll talk to you, maybe they won't. I'm going to give you all some game besides standing next to someone. If you're at a bar or a club or a party, you can ask someone what they're drinking or anything that they recommend. If you're not a drinker, you can say, oh, I love this song. Do you know what it's called? One that has worked on me is someone saying, do I know you from somewhere? I feel like I recognize you. I feel like I met you before. And the person keeps jogging that memory and you talk to them for like 5 minutes and then you warm up to the conversation. So those are some ways that you can shoot your shot without actually shooting your shot. Because as a woman, maybe you're scared to be direct. So you can literally just say, what song is this? what drink do you suggest? Where's the bathroom? Just kidding, maybe not that one, but just stuff that's just like warming up a conversation because it takes the pressure off, it takes the edge off. And then once a man is talking to you and if he notices that he likes you or he thinks you're pretty, then maybe he'll start the flirting, but you just came in innocent, like playing dead, and it's lowering people's defenses so they can receive you without feeling pressured, like you're pressuring them into something or they're pressuring you into something. It's just a friendly conversation. Other things that work are, I've seen on TV bumping into someone.
I do recommend.
That one is not good because it makes people angry. But yeah, I mean, those are some tips.
Bump into them and spill their drink.
Yes. And there's some direct approaches, like I think you said a woman going up to a man and saying, oh, I think you're very handsome. Maybe that's too direct for some of y'all. True. But, you know, you can just talk about what people recommend for a drink and see what happens.
All right. So you guys heard it from Oten Star herself. You heard it from your horse's mouth. If you guys are trying to shoot your shots, like I believe you should, then you can pick up tips from there. So do you have any hot take?
Yes, I have a hot take. And my hot take is when people are saying that men want to be chased nowadays and men are sissies nowadays, I personally think that no one wants to chase someone that's running away.
It's about to go down.
Because if someone chases someone that's running away, then it fulfills the narrative that men are creeps or rapists or whatever, and being labeled as that and warned about in the community. So I think that it's not that men are sissies or want to be chased. I think that men, just like any other human being, want that positive reinforcement. So, and that appreciation, like if they are texting you first, if they are coming up to you, well, let's use like a first meet. If someone is coming up to you, even if you don't like them, you could just say, you know what, not interested, but thanks. Or if you want to say I have a boyfriend, or you don't even have to lie, you can just say, you know what, I'm not really looking to meet anyone, and just be polite and let it go, versus being like, oh, why do you think that you couldn't blah, blah, blah. And obviously you can have that reaction if someone is being inappropriate towards you or can't take no for an answer or touching you. But if they're just like, hey, I want to get to know you, and maybe you're like, maybe not. There's a way to say that. But on the flip side, if you're saying men want to be chased, maybe they want to feel like you're giving them positive reinforcement so they can know if you like them. So that's a hot take to me, because yes, I do think men are a little bit more passive than they used to be, but I think that women are obviously punishing the opposite of passive, which is assertive, and saying that assertiveness is actually aggression. So that's going down the scale, so a man will be more passive instead of assertive. So he won't be looked at as aggressive. What do you think?
That's crazy, because I actually believe that's very true. And I was having this conversation with someone many weeks back, and I was saying it's easy. We're talking about this whole idea of old school and how men used to like chivalrous, and how people used to, like, you know, do things for women, or like, you know, pursue women and try to convince them that, hey, like, you know, I'm here for you, I'm the best option. But these days, like you said, it's easy to label someone, hey, like, this guy is a creep. Or hey, this guy is like, you know, just keeps bugging me, this guy keeps like. And on the flip side, women, I say, oh, like, you know, we want to be chased, and I'm saying, hey, I'm not going to do that. And so usually when I have a conversation, maybe I meet someone for the first time, I'm like, I don't chase women. I'm like, oh, you're one of those guys I want to chase. I'm like, no. If you like me and I like you, you don't have to chase me. Like, you wake up in the morning, I'll send you a text. If I forget, I expect like the same thing. Like, let's not do like we don't like each other, right? Let's not do like we don't want to get to know each other. You want to play hard to get. You want to just make it difficult. And then you want to also have the reward of, oh, men chase, oh, this guy is spoiled. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it, because then it's easy for you to say, oh, like, look, I never replied to him. Look, he just keeps bugging me. And someone always says something that there's a thin line between, I've forgotten the word, being a creep and being assertive. Like if a guy is fine or a guy is rich, for example, right? They'll be like, oh, this one is abuse. And then so like it's difficult to know for sure as a guy if somebody is going to term you trying to be assertive or you trying to chase them as you being a creep. So it's just easier to like take the step back and be like, hey, like traditional men have been going into problems for like the longest time. Let's meet in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I think that's something that's very true, and I definitely in this America you need to be more careful, right? Because before you know it, your name is out there, your good name is out there, and they tarnished it for what? Because you're trying to talk to someone. There are many babes, there are many people out there, right? So I won't die on this one person that I feel like I'm not getting any reciprocity from.
Yes.
So yeah, I actually believe that.
But I think I agree with you, but I think that right now women are being led down the wrong path because of social media dating coaches.
Yeah.
And why I'm saying that is because they'll say play hard to get. So then you will confuse playing hard to get with being ice cold and expecting a man to keep chasing you after being ice cold. But only someone with either low self-esteem or someone who's trying to prove something to themselves or someone who honestly has like personal problems that they're going through would keep chasing down someone who's being ice cold to them. Hard to get, like if you're literally at work or if you're at practice or if you're at church, maybe you can't necessarily text back all day. That's not something that's necessary in dating. But that's different if you're genuinely busy or you genuinely don't feel like to grow a relationship you have to be texting 25, 100 times a day. On the flip side, if you're just like, oh, stop talking about, or oh, blah, 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 like that ice coldness, or just completely ignoring someone's not going to respond well to that. And my sister, the Glow Barbie on Instagram, is a life/business coach.
Shameless plug.
What did you say?
Shameless plug.
Yes, shameless plug. And my sister's always like, you cannot be so ice cold to men or the man that you're talking to, because when he decides to stop talking to you and stop sending you those good morning texts and stop calling you, then you're just sitting there like, wow, why did he stop? It's because you're so rude.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not somebody who texts back every single minute. I have a job, I have hobbies, I have to meal prep, I have to clean my house. There's so many things I'm doing, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to purposely ignore someone for 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, just for the fun of it, unless I'm really trying to send a message that I don't like someone.
Fact.
Yeah. And yeah, I think if you're a well-adjusted man, if you're a man who is, and I'm going to say either for all of these, because you don't have to be all of them. If you're a man who's either 6 feet, making either 6 figures, either having a 6-pack, either have just like a good career, good spirit, good character, why would you think that you have to beg this one person like you said? Because I'm sure you check off some of those in that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, why would, if you have all those things going for you as a man, why would you think that you have to chase someone who's either cold or blatantly ignoring you? And like I said, I'm not saying you have to be available for every text from morning to night because that's annoying. But if you do like someone, talking to them once a day shows that interest.
Fact.
And I do think you don't have to respond to every single text on the same minute that it's received because you have a life. But I mean, because you can play people a little bit, maybe 1 hour here, 2 minutes there, 6 hours there, but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna just either be cold or just not say anything for 7 hours, or not 7 hours, like a couple days. Because I think 7 hours, like we have work.
Yeah, a couple of days is crazy. It's crazy to me, to be honest. And like you said, a lot of people do these things, and some people is very, very normal because they're used to people who don't. Not to sound condescending, but people who don't have much going on, being available 24/7, and like some people are like, oh, like, you know, if I block you, why don't you send me an email? You hear things like that.
Have you ever sent someone an email after being blocked?
No.
Why not?
No one who has blocked me has heard back from me. And I make it a point of call. If we're having a conversation, we have a disagreement, I pissed you off for some reason, I apologize, and you block me, I would not text you. You won't hear from me anywhere else, right? I was having a conversation with someone a while back. We're talking, we're dating, and
wait, what was her zodiac sign?
I don't know. I don't believe in zodiac signs. That's a hot take for you.
I believe in zodiac signs. Anyway.
All right. So she was going to like cut the call. I was like, if you cut this call, you don't never.
Oh, like hanging up?
Yeah.
I hate when people think
I know.
me.
I'm like,
Oh
you're
my
never
God.
going to hear from me again if you hang up this call. So I make it a point of duty to make anyone I'm interested in talking to, dating, hey, we're going to have bad days. We're going to have difficult conversations. When we're having difficult conversations, that's not the time to cut off this means of communication. Because communication is what's going to resolve this in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I say, well, you block this person, I'm like, you blocked your partner. Like, how are you supposed to resolve the issue? Like, oh, like, send me an email, go and get another number. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to do that.
I'm going to tell you a story real quick about blocking. So I was at a party, and it was more of like a networking event.
Mm.
And one of my acquaintances was sort of drunk at the party, and he was really upset. And I was like, what's going on with you? Or I didn't really ask. I overheard him talking to his friend, but I was listening anyway.
Get like tea. Yeah.
And all I hear him saying was, bro, she's in Miami with her friends right now and she blocked me, bro. Okay, so imagine this. You're in New York, your girlfriend's in Miami, she's on a boat, she's posting bikini pictures, you guys get into a fight and she blocks you.
Damn. That's difficult.
And you think you're vindicated to block him. And you know what this guy does? He goes and kisses another girl at the party. And 2 years later, now they're engaged. But anyway.
It's how you track this thing for me. Oh my God.
No, but the moral of
You should
that
add
story...
journalists. You should add a journalist to part of the things you do.
Maybe I will. But why I'm saying that, and this is going to be another hot take that's going to come up, is that she thought she was doing something by blocking him while on vacation. And when you do something like that, there's different attachment styles.
Yeah.
There's, secure attachment, anxious, dismissive, or avoidant. And then there's when you combine anxious and dismissive avoidant.
That's the ultimate bomb blast.
And if you have a secure attachment, you want to make sure that even in times of trouble, the person knows, like, even if you want space to say, hey, I'm going to take a walk through my head.
Exactly.
BRB, not necessarily just like hanging up the phone and running away. Or if you've been with someone for a long enough time, maybe they know that if you have an argument, your practice is going to be like taking a walk. But that's because you guys have discussed it already. So the person knows, like, okay, maybe you will go to your room, maybe you will take a walk, but you'll still say, hey, love you, going right there. Or maybe I need like 2 seconds away, but they know that because you've communicated that.
Exactly.
So if they're like secure in that moment, and then someone is blocking you, that's going to make you feel insecure in that moment. And then whatever ensues, it's not to say that she deserved to get cheated on or she deserved whatever, but, and I'm not even saying that you can't have a fight while you're on vacation, but it's not to go and block someone because that's going to make someone feel like unsafe, like out of control in that situation. And how is someone going to try to find that control again? Kissing another girl at the party. They're engaged though. So
she's like, hey, happy ending. But yeah, so that makes a lot of sense, and it's just crazy how all of those things fit together. Because like I said, if you do that, you're not going to hear from me. I don't block people. If I block you, you're a lunatic.
No, I think blocking is so, unless you plan to never talk or see that person ever again. I think blocking is so extra. I mean, I'm somebody who hates to be ignored, though. Whenever people block me, I'm like,
you're like, what? Exactly. So me personally, I'm like, it's not. I don't, like I said, like I care a lot. So sometimes I might come off, if you meet me for the first time, I might come off as like laissez-faire, just like, well, this guy is nonchalant. Like it's just. I'm not like when you get to know me, oh, this guy's actually not nonchalant. But I always tell people, I'm like, I have so many things I'm doing with my time that,
such as photography, videography, YouTube, podcasting,
exactly, everything together, all joined, right? I have all of these things, but if I make it a priority to check in on you, like make sure you're good, like have nice conversations, I expect at least. The same energy or the opportunity for that to happen. You take some point, you don't hear back for like 5 days. I'm not going to like, bro, And next thing, like, oh, and then many months later, they'll be like, oh, like, you know, where are you? There's one babe, give you one T now. There's one babe that blocked me, right? We were talking a while back, and
do you know what her zodiac sign was?
I don't know. And we had like a difficult conversation. I think I pissed her off, and she was angry, and I apologized, right? I thought everything was good, and then she blocked me.
It wasn't until she talked to her friends about what happened. That's what happened.
Another angle. And then she blocked me. I looked at it, I was like, oh, I thought it was a joke. Because in my head, I was like, okay, we talked about this before you left, we cleared this. So she blocked me. I went to TikTok, she blocked me. I went to Instagram, I was blocked. I was blocked. I said, okay, interesting. So I didn't say anything. I didn't message her back. I didn't do anything. I had her sister's in contact, but I didn't reach out to her sister. You know, I left it. Many months later, this is okay, this person has unblocked me. Now it's already many months too late. Because the maturity that I think you need to be able to handle difficult conversations, you didn't show it, you know, in those moments, right? So it all boils down to this scripture that talks about do unto others what you want others to do unto you, right? Is that Jesus is advocating for reciprocity. Is that if you want to, like, what do you want to be done to you? The same way, if you want people to listen to you, be a listening ear, right? Listen to them. If you don't want someone to cut the call on you, think of it like, if this person did this to me, how would I feel? Right? But I feel like a lot of people, not even just women, a lot of people in dating, you go into dating with this, I'm fighting against all the men on Twitter. So any man I catch in real life is already my enemy. Do you get, so like,
that's how I used to date.
You take this,
and I was single
you
for a long time.
you take that mentality and then you take it to someone that you're supposed to like actually show affection for, and then be very, very combative of them. And they're like, I'm not even on Twitter, like I'm trying to treat you
that
nice.
That was me until 2024. Actually, no, like 2023. 2024.
We thank God for your salvation.
She honestly said it's not even Twitter that stands in the way of relationship rules / enter the matches in place, which I don't think said that. She said it's girl groups.
The group chat.
Let's zoom in.
The group chat.